Okay. So Dashakam 84, the Lord what he does is Kvachidatatapano paragakale. Once at the time of Tapana Uparagakale. Uparagakale is during the solar eclipse time. During that time, the Lord in leaving behind his grandson Aniruddha and Kritavarma. Both of them. Kritavarma was not the grandson, but he was a person in the kingdom of Dwaraka. Leaving both of them behind, he goes to a holy spot, Samanta Panchakam, along with the Gopikas, the Yadavas, and so on. The Lord took a bath in the holy rivers also. He gave lot of dhanam to Brahmanas. He interacted with the Kauravas, Pandavas, and so on. Now, Draupadi, she was also very much a great devotee of the Lord, and she also mixed with the Gopikas who were there. And it seems that all the various leelas which the Lord had done with the Gopikas, those Gopikas also started narrating the same to Draupadi. Draupadi also became very happy and so on, listening to that. After that, now the Gopikas, what happened is just by looking at them, Angarekha, meaning the Gopikas had become very frail and thin, it seems, due to separation from the Lord. Because the Lord, once he was in Gokulam Vrindavanam, the Gopikas were there. Later, when he went to Mathura, Dwaraka also, obviously, they the Lord was away from the Gopikas. So it seems that due to that separation that was there from the Lord, they all became thin, or you can say very frail also. And finally, now that the Lord was with them, all of them were very happy. Now, it seems that immediately the Lord was very much happy with the Gopikas. All those Gopikas started shedding happy tears and so on. Now, at this time, what happened is Radharani was also there. She became very much happy looking at the Lord. Ripuja nakala hai ponaf ponaf me. At that time, Kalu Radhika Nelilye. Radharani also became very happy, and she told that the Lord had done a lot of delay in meeting her. And the Gopikas, why it happened is Ripujana Kalahi, because of many enemies coming and attacking. We know so many enemies come and attack Krishna on the way. There were so many avatars that was to be done and so on. So there was a lot of delay being done to come and meet the Gopikas. Finally, now Gopika Geetam, that is, or Gopika Jnanam, the Lord gives the Upadesham of the Supreme Self, Brahman also, to these Gopikas who are there and instilled in their hearts now till now for the Gopi. Now, it's not that the Gopikas do not know about the nature of the Lord, but what they had in them was utmost Shraddha and Bhakti towards the Lord. They felt that Bhagavan is one amongst us. But at this juncture, what happened is Krishna told, no doubt, this is correct. But you must know about the Supreme Self also. And he tells that I am nothing but the Almighty Lord, Brahman, reality, and so on. A very, very important lesson from Dashakam 84 is though we are on the path of Bhakti Margam, okay, today maybe I'm chanting the names of the Lord, tomorrow maybe I'm maybe reading the stotras or so, third time there is something else. So we have to always go up. Now I'm doing one thing, I stop there. This is not only for maybe spiritual matters, it is for anything and everything. Now I'm doing something, I'll continue doing that. No, we keep growing, right? We must do the next. I'm doing this, tomorrow I should do the next. In the case of Gopikas also, they were the best of devotees. The Lord had already blessed them. They had a lot of devotion to the Lord, this, that, everything was there. But they have to also go to the next step. That's the reason why the Lord gives Upadesham, talks about the ultimate bliss, consciousness, Brahman, and so on. There also, now the Gopikas who were there, they experienced joy when the Lord was telling all this to them, and they were all experiencing supreme bliss, it seems. Parama Sukham. And just by thinking about the Lord for a minute, they experience this bliss. Now, Vasudeva, in another instance, what happened is Monivara Niva Hai is verse number 9, Dashakam 84. Vasudeva ended up asking a group of sages that you please advise what are some auspicious rites or rituals that should be done so that all my sins, Papa Karma, should go away. Now, the sages to whom Vasudeva asked this question, they were all very much surprised, it seems, because the Lord Himself, when He is your son, why do you have to think of all these rituals or so? Right? They were surprised at this. That's when Vasudeva, still, he kept on asking, and somehow they were. Now, here, though an avataram is there, the Lord Himself has been born as a son. still the relationship as a son only is there, Vasudeva as a human being only. Therefore, the rituals have to be performed. The Lord also is not an exception for this. Therefore, Vasudeva ended up performing all the rituals that are needed. So, again, an important lesson from Dashakam 84 is the Lord in every avataram that he takes, let it be Rama avataram, Krishna avataram, or any avataram, there are certain rules or dharmakaryam rituals which have to be done that are being followed. There is no exception. No, my son himself is Lord. He for him only should I do. That is not done. Otherwise, then there are so many other rituals like the Govardhana Puja, this, that. That also would not be done, right? Or like in another instance, maybe I don't know if I've told you earlier, Rukmini Devi makes fun of the Lord and tells that you keep preaching, you preach to Arjuna this and that, be on Bhakti Margam, worship the Lord this and that. Do you do that? Rukmini asks Krishna. Now, whom will the Lord worship? He has to end up worshipping himself because there is none like the Lord, right? Like. The Lord is Lord, there's only one. But still, what he did was Krishna prepared an idol of Vishnu only and or of Krishna only you can consider, and he used to worship the Lord, it says. And Krishna also used to go and tell Rukmani Devi that yes, what I tell people, I am also practicing the same thing. Every day I worship the Lord. This Lord is nothing but none other than the Lord of Gurvayur only. Today, whom we worship as Lord Gurvayurappan of Gurvayur, is the Lord who has been worshipped by Lord Krishna himself in Krishna Avataram. Guru and Vayu, they bring from Uttara Bharatam till South India, they carry this Bhagavan who is there, who was worshipped in Dwarika also by the Lord, and then the same has been brought here. So the idol of Guruvayurappan that we have today is said to be worshipped by Lord Krishna himself. So the point here comes in, the point is there are no exceptions. Let it be Rama Avataram, let it be Krishna Avataram. And Avataram itself is to show to the world that this is how we have to be. So then now, for human beings, if you see, even if directly also we tell us something to do, we don't do, right? Moreover, if the Lord, he tries to show in his avataram that I am the Lord, I don't have to follow any rules or so, human beings will catch hold of that. See, this Lord in his avataram, he is worshipping himself. I'll also worship myself from today, right? So, human beings are that ignorant. We never know. But the Lord tries to show through this instance, let it be Vasudeva or anyone else, if there are certain rules to be followed, it is equal for everyone. Now, this the Vasudeva, the sacrifice that he was about to do, that lasted for about 3 months for the going away of sins, this and that. At that time, the lords, Gopas, Yadavas, everyone had assembled there, and they all enjoyed the company of the Lord like the childhood days that were there. Finally, while he was about to leave to Dwaraka, the Lord goes, he approaches Radharani, and both of them were very happy to see each other, and the Lord returned to Pavanapureshwara, the Lord of Gurvayu, he returned back with a heavy heart back to Dwaraka. Finally, Bhattatri concludes his Dashakam saying that Pahimam Gadebhyaha, please free me from my ailments also, like you went to spend some time with the Gopikas, this and that, and so on. Yeah. Dashakam 85, let's continue. Once what happened is the Magadha king. Okay, 84, sorry, 84 could everyone follow? Okay. Next 85. Now, Magadha Raja, king of Magadha Jarasandha, he had about Shata Ashtaka Yuta Ayuta Dvitayam, meaning 20,800 kings under his captive. Tato Magadha Bhubrata Chiranirodha Sankleshitam Shata Ashtaka Yuta Ayuta. Look at the number Shata Ashtaka Yuta Ayuta Dvitayam. So 20,800 kings under him as captives in his prison, and somehow all those kings, they were very much being troubled by Jarasandha. They sent a message to the Lord somehow saying that you are the only one who can come to our rescue, please come. That's when they all prayed to the Lord, and the Lord then was very much eager to attack Jarasandha. The Lord was informed during this time by Narada that Yudhishthira is doing some preparations to perform the Rajasuya Yagam. Now here the Lord was in a state of confusion. What should I do? Should I attend the Rajasuya Yagam of Yudhishthira, or should I go and fight with Jarasandha? Now Uddhava here he points out, Uddhave Shasham Sushi. Uddhava tells that you go, like whenever you attend a sacrifice also, it is said that all your enemies also will be conquered at the same time. You will be able to attend the sacrifice also. So it is better that you go and attend the Rajasuya Yagam of Yudhishthira. That's how the Lord he proceeds from Dwaraka Nagari to Indraprastha. the capital of Yudhishthira. Now, the Lord reached Indraprastha with all his wise family. Ashesha Daita Yute Twayi. Now, Dharmaputra Yudhishthira Dharmajaha, he was very much happy. He received the Lord and his entire family. And at that time, what happened is, here the Lord, what he did was, he sent, when he comes to Rajasuya Yagam, when he comes to Indraprastha for the Rajasuya Yagam being done by Yudhishthira, Yudhishthira sends Bhima and Arjuna along with the Lord. That's when, so it is like a two-way thing that happened. He goes to attend the Rajasuya Yaga. There, like a plus point, he gets the company of Bhima and Arjuna. Along with Bhima and Arjuna, the Lord goes to Magadha. Magadha, the capital of Jarasandha, was called Girivraja. Girivrajapuram Gatastadanu Devayuyam Trayo. Girivraja is the capital of Jarasandha. Now, all three of them, Bhima, Arjuna, and Krishna, they were in a disguise. All three of them, Dvijamishena Dvijaha. They were in the disguise of Brahmins. And Jarasandha was made to fight with Bhima. Meanwhile, Arjuna and Krishna, they just looked on how both of them were fighting. At that time, what happened is, the Lord gave a hint to Bhima here that Jara's son, who was there, that is Jarasandha, could be killed by splitting. So therefore, Bhima, then what happened is, he just split, or he tore open Jarasandha, and that's how Jarasandha was killed. Then all the kings who were there, the 20,800 kings who were there captive under in the prison of Jarasandha, all of them were released. The Lord also happily blessed all of them, and they all also ruled over entire Bhulokam with utmost, being on Dharma Margam and so on. So they were all good kings who were there. So this is how Bhima. Now here, why this entire incident happened, directly why the Lord did not come to Magadapuri and kill Jarasandha is, this Leela was very important. Bhima had to kill Jarasandha. That is the reason. Also, the Lord had to attend the Rajasuya Yagam. Therefore, he goes to Indraprastham along with Bhima and Arjuna. He comes to Magadapuri, and that's how Bhima, he gives a hint to Bhima how to kill Jarasandha. That's how Bhima ends up killing Jarasandha. Further, Yudhishthira, then he was performing the Rajasuya Yagam, wherein all the kings also they go there who are freed from Jarasandha's captive. They also go and attend that, and there they do lot of service. Dvijapada Avaneja, washing the feet of Brahmins, doing all kinds of work and so on. So there in that sacrifice was there, no one, people could not make out who's a king, who's a servant, nothing. All the kings also were working as servants and sevakas. They were all offering their best of services. Now all the guests who were there, they had all assembled there, and Sahadeva, the last of the Pandavas, by following his advice, it seems that Yudhishthira, in this instance, he worships the Lord also, it seems, and this gave satisfaction to the entire world. Now, why here Sahadeva is important? Sahadeva tells Yudhishthira that you please worship Krishna also, who is the Lord of the entire world. So, again, to show that at times there can be people, they might be younger, this, that, age also doesn't matter. Jnanam is something that does matter. Of course, this doesn't mean that Yudhishthira did not know that he must go and worship the Lord. It is a Leela of Sahadeva to tell Yudhishthira, as advised or as by told by Sahadeva, he performs a worship to the Lord. At that time, what happened is Chedi Raja, he gets up. Now, here, if you see, just from a bit of Mahabharata stories, everything Bhattatri has compiled. So, therefore, you will have many incidents coming together in one Dashakam. At that time, Chedi Raja, he springs. Now, he was also invited to the sacrifice. He gets up from his seat and says that, immediately he says, who's this fool? There were so many great kings here, and then we are all honoring this cowherd boy, Gopala. Pashupa Durutam Vatum. Who is this? And saying so, it seems that immediately he started throwing his weapons on the Lord, and of course, they were all stopped by the Pandavas. That's when immediately the Lord, he cut off the head with his Sudarshana Chakra, and this is nothing but Chedi Raja is nothing but Shishupala. Shishupala, he had also got the curse, Jaya and Vijaya, the attendants of Lord Vishnu, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Shishupala, Dantavakta. So this was none other than Shishupala. He also got moksha, he ascended to Vaikuntham. Now, why he ascended to Vaikuntham is continuously the Shishupala was thinking about the Lord only. Though he was an enemy, still he was thinking about the Lord, and therefore he also attained supreme union with the Lord. Now, here what happened is finally the Rajasuya sacrifice was completed. All of them were very happy, and at this time, what happened is Duryodhana, he was very much wicked. He developed a lot of jealousy because now the entire world was proud of Yudhishthira, Krishna, or so that the sacrifice was completed successfully. And here, of course, one more instance happened. Maya arpita sabha mukhe. The sabha, what was there, as we know the Mahabharatam story, there was actually no water, but Duryodhana mistook that it is water also. That was amount of architecture that was being done, the flooring that was there. So where there was actual floor, Duryodhana thought that it is water. Where there was no water also, he thought that it is the floor and so on. So like this, when he mistook the floor to be water and vice versa, and then he became laughing matter for everyone around. Now this assembly hall that was there for the Pandavas, it was built by the architect of the Asuras, Maya only. Finally, what happened is when this happened with Duryodhana, Draupadi and Bhima gave a loud laugh, it seems, which was somehow instigated by the Lord. Because again, the Leela of the Lord, so that Duryodhana is instigated, further Kaurava, Pandava Kaurava Yuddham takes place, and so on. This immediately was a seed, it seems. Or Duryodhana at this point decided that war has to take place because both these two are shouting, or these two have laughed at me. So this was like a Bijam Vapanjanardana. The Lord ensured that like a seed should be cultivated, should be sown now, so that Dharma Yuddham will take place. Of course, Gita Upadesham should take place, and so on. So this was like a seed wherein when this incident happens with Duryodhana, he makes fun of himself. He is made a fool, or he is and the laughing matter. Draupadi and Bhima end up laughing. Duryodhana gets very angry, and this was like Marutpuri Nilayapa Hima Mayeba Amayata Dadhara Bhara Nirakritau. So this war that is there was to Dadhara. Bhara Nirakritau, to remove the burden from this earth by killing evil elements like Duryodhana, Kauravas, and so on. Finally, Bhattatri concludes his Dashakam saying, Marutpuri Layapahi Mamayata. Just as you instigated Draupadi and Bhima, just as you have sown the seed of Mahabharata Yuddham, similarly, please free me from my ailments too. Okay, stop here.